Hey y'all, how's it going? Thank you so much for coming. We are going to go ahead and get started right on time because we are actually deeply passionate about starting right on time.
We do it in class too. If you're late, you should feel like you missed something. So.
We're like, oh, are you 1 minute late?
Not you guys, but your children.
Yeah. Thank you so much for coming. We're so excited to see you here on the, second week of school? First week of school?
First full week.
First full week. Okay, first full week. My name is Emily Wilcox.
My name is Krista Fancher.
Yeah, we're really excited that you're here, like I said.
Yeah. Oh, come on in, guys. There's coffee, water. Help yourself. I hope everybody saw that.
No, guys, not you. Just the kids.
There's a culture piece in ID that we like to let them know that we start in the first minute, we end in the last minute. The last week of school isn't playtime. Like our projects are ramping up. Sometimes we have people who go, oh, but we're going to Spain that week. And I'm like, oh, that's tough. And so I always like
you're going to miss some stuff at school, buddy. Yeah.
I like to emphasize that in ID, it's maybe not the best time to take them out for a haircut because everything we do is collaborative, and we'll talk about that more.
Mm-hmm. So Innovation Diploma, as you guys are aware, is a completely student-led program. So we are going to lead with students today. Can you guys introduce yourselves?
Yes, hi everyone, I'm Fia Calvo and I'm a junior here at Mount Vernon. I also had a brother that recently graduated also from the Innovation Diploma program.
Hi, I'm Hadley, I'm a senior here at Mount Vernon and I've been in ID for 3 years. I came in as a sophomore.
Hi, I'm Hannah and I'm a junior at Mount Vernon and I came last year.
Awesome, and then just share a little bit about how Innovation Diploma has impacted your high school experience.
Yeah, so Innovation Diploma has given me the opportunity not only to collaborate, but understand more about myself and what I might want to do in the future. So I love hands-on working, hands-on building, and being able to adapt into any situation that I'm given. Innovation Diploma has allowed me to pursue that and allowed me to just like trial and error, figure out what I like, figure out what I don't like, what's good, what's bad, how to tell myself what to do, like what are the next steps without someone else telling you what to do. And it's really just opened my eyes to so many opportunities at such a young age.
Yeah, so a little kind of the same thing as Fia. Innovation Diploma really helped me step out of my comfort zone. I used to be very scared to speak in front of crowds, and I used to be very introverted, so kind of just scared to step outside of my comfort zone, scared to speak kind of in public and also present. But since I've been in Innovation Diploma, I've been able to just very much step up as a leader and not be afraid to speak up and kind of be myself. Also from Innovation Diploma, it's helped me figure out what I want to do in the future. Kind of the same thing as Fia. I took a class my sophomore year that was all dedicated towards event planning, and since then that's been my passion, and I'm now able to be hybrid and have an internship at Dunwoody to pursue that passion so I can go into college knowing what I want to do and not bouncing back and forth in my major. So I've been very excited being in an Innovation Diploma, and I'm just very thankful for the experiences it's given me.
Personally, I think I was a lot like Hadley, and I have like no want to speak in front of like people like hated it so much. Like my mom put me in a camp to do public speaking. It's like, no, I'm not. But then I came here and I realized I actually love it. So it really helped me learn a lot about myself and how I am as a person and helped me get out of my shell. And I also, I got to experience a lot of collaborating with people that I didn't really know, that I've never really worked with, and I had to lead my team to get them to a place where we are delivering something huge and really impactful to Furman, for example. Our group, or our team last year, our grade, basically we created a camp for Furman University, and that was our deliverable, and we created like a whole itinerary and everything, and it was great, and it was so fun that I went, and I got to experience it for myself. So it's just amazing.
Awesome. If y'all could give one piece of advice to a first-year Innovation Diploma student, what piece of advice would you give?
I think my biggest thing is, speaking from self-experience, is not being afraid to speak up and stand out. Like when you put yourself in a corner, it's kind of like you get in what you get out what you put into the experience. Sorry, I'm very backwards right now.
It's early.
But I think that's just my biggest piece of advice to a freshman is just put yourself out there, because when you put yourself and give yourself the opportunity, you will get the same thing back in ID.
Yeah, I would say trust the process. So here at Mount Vernon, we do a lot of discovery work, and that not only leads you to the best and viable product, but that helps you like discover the purpose behind each step and each point. When I was a freshman and my brother was a senior, I would like look up and be like, I want to do that, Miss Wilcox. I want to do that.
I'm gonna say, not yet.
Not yet. So I had to trust the process of my first 2 years, and now I'm so excited to be able to be working with some great people. And the things you learn really after your first 2 years like are so helpful, not only like for your projects but for yourself, and that is truly impactful.
I would say probably don't be scared. I mean, batch, basically, I didn't know that I was going to be an ID until the day before
That is
school
so true.
started. And I got my schedule the day that school started. So I was dropped off in Mr. Hewitt's class, and Banch turns to one of my friends and is like, take care of her. I was like, where am I? What's going to happen to me? But I tried not to be scared, and I, just let myself go with the flow. And I think that it really just helped me get out of my comfort zone. And when you're not scared, you're really not afraid to take risks, and then you come up with amazing products.
Yeah.
That's great. And it is hard to join
Yeah.
ID as a sophomore, and so it's rare that because you've got to be able to catch up on that first year of onboarding, and so you did a beautiful job.
Yeah, both of y'all
Yeah.
did. And then last,
Yeah.
before we let you guys go back to class, is there anything that you would say maybe to families of first year ID students? Because that's who we have with us right now.
They can be super duper uber supportive of what your kids are doing, because it's really amazing work. Even if it's little stuff, like, oh, I did an MDE project where I don't know, made a block of wood, and just these
It's actually really hard to make a block of wood.
Say the building, the new campus.
With like a hot text presentation in Miss Wilcox's graphic design class, like let them present to you and let them show you their work, and just be super supportive of them, because it can give them the confidence to move forward later.
It's great.
One thing actually I tell my mom about is like if I always like let my parents ask me for advice. Like a lot, my mom has a nonprofit company, and she just presented in Louisville, Kentucky, actually last night, and I helped her with her slide design. I did the whole like pan flip for her in her nonprofit. So just like honestly tap into your kids, and they might know it. They might know it, and they might be a tool for you. So ask them questions, get them involved with what you're doing. They might love it, and that's something I love helping my mom with. I did an internship for a company, and anyway, it's honestly so exciting to see how I can help my mother and for the skills I learned within ID, and I would not have done that without ID. I promise you.
Yeah, a big thing we always say is age does not equal capability, and that's a big thing we always say. But a big thing I think for my parents was like the connections in a way. Like my dad is in a world of like steel manufacturing. I was like, that's not going to do anything in ID. And then all of a sudden, in a brief last year, he had 20 pallets of wood on a big truck
Maybe
and
more.
dropped off. So I think just kind of like, I always like to say lean in, and like leaning into your kids, and like if they will ask for the support they need, and like as long as you're just supporting us or your current students, they're going to get the best experience possible. So just help them make those connections, but you don't need to feel like you have to have your hands in everything. I think just lean into the experience, because it's going to be a great 4 years, and they're truly going to get so much out of it.
Awesome.
Thank you
you
so
guys
much, ladies.
so
That was
much.
perfect.
Thank you, girls. You're amazing. Awesome. Love you guys. Thank you.
So this is one of the side products of ID that we work on it kind of happens organically. Their ability to get up and speak or be scared and do it anyway. That's what we tell the freshmen and sophomores a lot. They're like, this is scary. Yep, that's by design. And you're gonna have more scary things, you're gonna do
right.
it anyway. And they're quiet and scared, and then they do it, and then they're like, "Rah!"
They're like, wait a
afterwards.
second,
It's
that
the
felt
best.
great. And we're like, I know, right?
Yeah, it's the best. That wasn't rehearsed
At all.
Like, and they can just stand up and talk about the thing. And so we started talking about that with the freshmen yesterday, and the day before they're pitching their cohort names.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I want to hear from everyone.
Yeah, every freshman presented, I think twice yesterday. They presented in both of
with
our
you,
classes
yeah.
yesterday. Yeah.
Yeah, and there's just more and more of that, and explaining your thinking out loud is super helpful. So in 9th and 10th grade, as you heard from them, these are the onboarding years. This is when we get the culture of ID, the kind of like what to expect. We're going to start the first minute. If you come up late and you've got Chick-fil-A in your hand,
Bad
might
luck.
be problematic.
Bad luck.
Bad look. And then like just kind of knowing what we're about to show you and trusting the process. I love that they said that.
Me too.
Because that is it. Like you feel like, we've been doing discovery work for 3 weeks. This is taking forever. And it's like, no, you are becoming an expert in this thing that you're going to talk about. It's not a school project.
That's right.
It is so much more. It's a professional looking presentation.
And like Fia said, her older brother came through the program. And so when she came in freshman year, and when a lot of freshmen come into the program, they come in and they're like, where is Delta?
Yeah.
Let me
I
at
want
Delta.
Delta.
And we're like, that is so funny. Like, please have a seat, right? So our
You're
freshmen,
not touching Delta yet.
one of the beautiful things about Innovation Diploma is that we're all together in the same space. We're all in 3 North, 2 floors above us. And so our freshmen are able to be around that work that our upperclassmen are doing. They're able to be around those design briefs where our upperclassmen are working with incredible companies so they can see the work, they can be around the work, they can ask questions to our upperclassmen while they're learning the foundational skills to be able to do that work in a few years, right? But they're like, get me in the boardroom, and we're like, get in the classroom, sit down. So right now our upperclassmen are working on some incredible design briefs. We've got a group working with Delta. They just went on a really amazing site visit. We cannot tell you a lot about it because we did sign an NDA. We accidentally made little monsters because they were like, what do we say? We
Top
had to,
secret.
like, we had to sign an NDA, so how do we talk about it? And I was like, jokingly, I said, you just go, I signed an NDA. And now they're all like, I signed an NDA, and so they're really into it.
They'll say, I can't talk about it.
Yeah, they're like, Mom and Dad,
Top
please.
secret.
Okay. We've got a group working with Lego International, so there they are on the second day of school on a client call with Kate. She's in London, and she is in charge of like international marketing. They're doing amazing work, and so if we go to our next slide, we can see our other 2 design briefs that are working.
And Kate wrote to me immediately after that, and she said, and we get this a lot, I'm blown away by the intelligent questions they asked and the work they've done already, and it's like it was the 4th day of school.
And it's because of those 2 years of groundwork they do freshman and sophomore year. We've got a group working with Rivian, another NDA, okay, Innovation Diploma. And then we've got another group working with Caldwell Banker as well.
And they're actually designing a retirement city in Middle Georgia, where there's not anything like that currently. And it's a really neat, ambiguous project that they get to put their fingerprints all over. So.
And then your freshmen right now are in 2 Innovation Diploma classes. They are in MAD Foundations with me, and they're in Design for Good with Fanch.
Do you want to tell them what MAD stands for? They probably know by now.
I sure do. It's Maker, Art, and Design Foundation. So they're getting little bites of each of those disciplines, Maker, Art, and Design. So the past couple of days, we have been engaging in different workshops. We're calling it very creatively Workshop Week. If you want to get triple W, Workshop Week with Wilcox, you know, I guess that's really 4 W's, not a humanities teacher. But we've been learning a lot about drawing and prototyping. We're launching a Design Thinking Bootcamp today. So we're really just getting our hands into all of the things that make Innovation Diploma work. We're a design thinking program, so your students are getting all of those foundational skills that are gonna keep them going for the next 4 years so that they're able to sign NDAs with Delta.
One of the things we learned over the years is they just don't want to do theoretical work the whole time. They want to dive into something real. So we have this partnership with Resource Branding, and on the 4th day of school, they come and do a workshop with our freshmen, and it's real. And they bring a real client, talk about what he's trying to do with his restaurant, and then they designed, they were in 3 groups, and they all designed their logos. They made a brand package, and the team at Resource Branding walked them through how to do that, and just the room was just electric. Like you could tell they were excited to be at school.
It was awesome. And then this is them making physical prototypes out of different materials. And I believe this was the day that one of the students looked up at me with clay in his hands and went, art is low-key hard. And I was like, yeah, art is high-key hard, my friend. Yeah. So we're making a lot of really important discoveries in MAD Foundations.
You know, I know what some of you were thinking when you were listening to those girls, because I don't know about your experience, that is my experience with daughters. My son, if I said, what are you working on? He would be, why do you want to know? It's good. It's going good. My day was good. But my daughter would tell me everything in real time. So if you have that going on at home, just, you know, like say, what are you guys doing in ID? Why are you doing it? And see what they say.
So these are our sophomores. This is the Jorgen cohort. The freshmen do not have a cohort name yet, but that is coming soon.
Probably today or tomorrow.
Probably today or tomorrow,
Narrowing
I hear.
it down.
Yeah. They are currently in Language Proof and Logic, which is their humanities class in biomimicry for science. Yesterday they went, was that yesterday? State Bar? Yesterday they went to the State Bar of Georgia. I mean, come on, look at these guys. So we're already off campus in ID. We're already taking expeditions. We're already talking to London. We got a lot in the works. And then there they are in their biomimicry class working on some discovery work.
I will say that just to prepare your thinking, science and ID is one of the hardest courses they're going to take all 4 years. And there are hurdles put in place for them, and I would caution you to support them in climbing over rather than being tempted. It's so tempting. I have two really different learners that I raised at my house. And for the one that had learning differences, it was so tempting to remove those barriers for her whenever I could. But for having climbed over them, she is so much better at life because of that. And just keep that in mind, because those classes are tough intentionally.
So it takes all types of students to do this work that we do in Innovation Diploma. Our cohorts are wildly diverse in every sense of the word. Our students are incredible, and we have literally every type of kid in our program.
Oh, sorry.
No,
We're
you,
usually
please.
so good at that.
I know we are. You know, we need more coffee.
We finish each other's
So
sentences.
as diverse as we are united by a shared set of values. What did you want to say?
I don't know.
We'll figure it out.
People are surprised to learn that in the process to get into ID, we don't look at grades.
No.
That's not what we're about. We're about what can you bring to this cohort. We have introverts, we have extroverts, we have kids with learning differences, kids who are like, just tell me what to do and I'll do it. I want to get straight A's.
Please. Yeah.
Runs the gamut. And so that's intentional. We want wildly creative kids who just think so far out of the box, you're kind of like,
What? Yeah.
But it really makes for these great collaborative groups. That's so good.
Isn't that a cute picture? It really is.
So these are the kind of the culture of ID. This sort of talks about our values, these next few slides.
So we care so much more about collaboration than we do about individual achievement. We believe truly that we are better together. What we can do together is so much more important than what we can do on our own. I always say that life is a group project.
I stole that from her.
She did, but
Yeah.
I'm the one who says it.
Yeah, she birthed that quote.
Good, thank you. Yeah, life is a group project, so we want to start them early. Innovation Diploma is highly collaborative. We do group work, and so our highly diverse cohort, our highly diverse program, it's really strong, and our kids learn to work together.
Today, the ninth graders are starting their book study, and it is called How to Work in Collaborative Teams. And it's one of those Harvard Business Review kind of it's not an intimidating book. And we're going to work through it together. But it's the kind of things we talk about. Every now and then we'll have a student, after all the interviews and all the talks, I think we've gotten better at making it really clear that everything is collaborative. Every now and then we'll get someone, hey, I think I work better alone.
We're like, I'm wrong.
You might be in that. Yeah. But they usually come around to say, okay, I get it, trust the process.
Right.
Works. And it's hard. Collaboration is hard because our groups are so diverse.
That's right.
So it's really interesting to see them learn to manage that. We love multidisciplinary learning over specialization. I taught a class once where we combined biomimicry with humanities. And so I taught the research and how to read a scientific paper. And they got to where they could do it and they felt powerful doing it. And then they'd go into science and apply the research that they had done. And that, to me, is what school should be. Like, those lines should be blurred between, if you are doing, we've had a brief where they had, remember the pie brief? They had to do so much math and spreadsheets for that brief. So you never know what a project's going to ask you to do.
Yeah. We care so much more about trial and error over risk avoidance. We always tell our students to be biased towards action, which means to just not sit there, right? It's so much better to jump in and try something than to be like, I better not. Like, no, you better do. Get in there and try. So we really encourage our students to just try, see what happens, get your hands dirty, and experiment. It's part of design thinking. It's part of Innovation Diploma. We tell them the worst thing you can do is nothing. So we're currently really working with the freshmen on training them out of the let me sit back and be nervous at school.
I didn't turn this in because I wasn't sure.
I joke with freshmen all the time because they're very like, Miss Wilcox, may I please take the cap off my Sharpie? Miss Wilcox, may I please put my Sharpie on my paper? Miss Wilcox, may I and I'm like, hey,
may I get water?
Hey,
may I go to the bathroom? Yeah.
Like, get your Sharpie on your paper. Let's go. We're wasting time.
Just do it. If it's not right, you'll find out. But,
pretty quickly.
And that's the thing with the assignment at home. I didn't do it because I wasn't sure. do it totally
Oh,
wrong.
no,
Just
yeah.
do it. You know, like that's the thing. We'll work through that. That's where our trial and error. The error is important.
We're cool with error.
We are. We love it.
It's fine with me.
Creating over consuming. This ramps up over the 4 years. This is one of our Future of projects, which we will invite you to just before holiday break. But they totally transform these classrooms, and it's messy, and it's
Awesome.
crazy, and it's the best.
It's my
And
favorite thing we do.
Kids will say, "Can we come up all day Sunday and into the night?" And we're like,
Yep. And my roommate's like, "Do you live here?" And I'm like, "No, I don't live here anymore. I live at school." Yeah.
that was last year.
This is one of those famous wood pallets that Hadley was talking about when her
Yes.
dad came and dropped off like 20 of those. It's
Oh,
crazy.
and they all had nails, and so we just had kids out there like,
It was awesome.
It was
yeah.
amazing.
We care about play, passion, and purpose over extrinsic motivation. We do a lot of work about teaching kids intrinsic versus extrinsic motivation, the difference, how that feels, how that looks for you. We want students to find their passion. We want to tap into that. We want to help them discover that. And we want to help them love what they love. And we want to help them discover their purpose. We care about that so much more than extrinsic motivation. And y'all know for students, so often extrinsic motivation is grades, right? And so we care so much more, again, about the play, the passion, the purpose. We want your students to love being here. We want your students to love learning. We want your students to love the work. We don't want your students to love the grades. We think the grades come on the other side of good work.
Right. If it's a horse and a cart, the grades are the cart, not the horse. You know, and the learning pulls the grades. And
Always
like,
comes first.
yeah,
Learning
and the
always comes
grades will
first.
take care of themselves if you focus on the learning.
right.
This, I love that you chose this picture
Me
for the
too.
slide
Thank you.
because our kids are involved in so many things. You know, we have a lot of athletes. We have dancers, we have gymnasts, we have equestrians, deeply passionate about music. Our kids are into their passions, and that's one of the fun things for us, too.
This was at that welcome event that our students
Right.
put on at the end of last year. That was not for a class, not for a grade. They were just like, we want to welcome new families. How? And we said, I don't know, do it. And then they did.
Yeah, they
So
did. They kept saying, what should we do? And we're like,
We were like, we're busy, you do it. And then they were like, hey, can you guys come to school on Thursday, the whatever? And we were like, okay.
Yep.
Yeah. And then they had it all set up. It was amazing.
Yeah, at that
yeah.
point, when they're older like that, we drive the van, we keep the bumpers on, we keep
We
the
swiped the
fires
credit
from
card at
happening.
Kroger. Yeah.
Yeah, don't put a nail in your foot like
Yeah.
that.
They're like, we need 100 hot dogs. And I'm like, all right, let's go get in the van.
Yeah.
Let's go get 100 hot dogs. Yeah. So quickly, we're just going to review how Innovation Diploma fits into the upper school experience.
Yes, we are.
We currently make up 30% of the upper school, which is crazy because
It's
when I
crazy.
came here, it was not that number. We had a lot fewer students.
that
So here's a picture of all of our guys about a year or two ago. We got to get a new picture, but
I know.
30% of the upper school, we're a big chunk. We're the second biggest pathway in the upper school, and we are really, really, really proud of that number.
It
pretty awesome.
started with 14 kids 12 years ago. And those kids just took a chance on doing school differently. And it has grown exponentially every year.
Yeah. Because of trust.
Yeah, that's right. And it's just, it makes us feel really good that kids want to do school differently and learn the way we do. I love that picture.
So here's the way that the courses fit into the next 2 years for your students. So if you'll click that, the Innovation Diploma classes are, I know, right? Technology. It's always when you need it to work is when it
Yeah.
doesn't. The navy blue classes are going to be where the Innovation Diploma courses fit into the experience. So we've got your students for humanities. We've got your students for chem their freshman year, for bio their sophomore year. And that's a difference from the traditional experience. Usually students will take bio their 9th grade year and chem their 10th grade year. In ID, we flip it because it works better for the way that we do things. And we can, so we do. So we've got 9th grade chem, 10th grade biology, and then we also take their MDE and their fine arts courses as well. So they're gonna be taking their health class, physics class, their wellness class, world language, and their math class outside of the program. But this is just a little preview of what the next 2 years course-wise are gonna look like for your students.
At one time, we tried to integrate math to see if it would work, and they're all taking like 5 different maths. So
Yeah.
we were like, let's not do that.
It's also like one of the only courses that I just don't want to even try to teach. You know?
ID Humanities, so your students are all in humanities now, and I was talking to some of them this morning about, they were like, what is humanities? And I said,
Yeah.
well, it's all your history, social studies, your ELA, think of it as English class, but it's so much more in ID. Right now, they're getting their feet wet with the ID culture. They're naming their cohorts, so they had to research somebody to present and put forth to the group, and then try to pitch and convince other people to vote for that person too. So we don't do a lot of traditional tests. I don't think you'll ever see a multiple choice test from any of us,
Ever.
not me. We might do a Kahoot. That's the closest thing to a multiple choice test that we would give them. It's a lot more of this. Cover the wall with a Spidea web, show me what you know. Show me how these things are interconnected.
Be able to speak extemporaneously about it, be able to do something with what you learned. That is the key for our innovation diploma classes. It's not just passively learn information, it's what can you do with that? Because we believe if you can't do something with what you've learned, like what's the point, right? Why did we learn that?
Yeah, what are you going to do with it?
We also believe in getting off campus and being engaged in the community. We've got an amazing city that we live in with tons of resources. We've got an amazing history and culture here in Atlanta. Last year, we were able to take our freshmen to the Carter Center and they learned a ton. The incredible Kevin Hewitt took them and led that expedition, and it was incredible. They learned a ton. And so we really love to just take advantage of the fact that we're in such an amazing city. I'm an Atlanta girl, so I love Atlanta.
Took them to
Where'd I take
Georgia State, to the
Georgia State.
archives, and they got to go through and look at, we looked at all these old, they have
Special collections archive for zines. Yeah.
amazing, yeah.
Really
It was really fun to go through.
They were like,
that
what are zines? And I was like, let's
Yeah.
go.
And they're
Let's
like,
go.
what are these fashions from 1967? I was like, they're pretty cool, right?
And they were like, what are these fashions from 2004? And I was like, hey, watch it. So yeah,
Exactly.
we love to get off campus. And again, just like I said, do something with what we're learning. It's similarly ID science. Like Fanch was saying, those are hard classes because it's hard to apply science. And it's also just not what students are used to often with science. So we go outside if we're learning about plants, if we're learning about nature, we get our hands on stuff. If we're learning about building things, we build things, right? We don't just learn about how to drive, we drive. This picture over here of the kids,
Gastronomy.
if it looks like they're cooking in the community space, it's because they are. That's molecular gastronomy. It's learning about chemistry through food science, through cooking.
Yeah, they actually do it. They use, I always say it in the wrong order.
Salt, fat, acid, heat.
Ah, see, I thought it was heat.
It's okay.
But they use that book, and that's not a kid's book. There's a lot of great science in it, and so they have a couple of texts like that aren't traditional textbooks, and you'll never hear like, turn to page 26 and somebody read the first paragraph. It's not. Science is doing. Science is a verb, and we love that.
It's a good line, right? Science is a verb, yeah. ID Connections, those are our Maker Art and Design classes. Those are our MDE classes. The Connections courses that we have right now in ID are one that your kid's in right now. We've got MAD Foundations, and then in Mod 3, they'll take graphic design with me, and then they'll take our incredible MDE classes with Dr. Wortham, who's our Maker teacher. She's incredible.
Incredible.
She's so cool. So your students are gonna learn a lot about how to do graphic design. They learn a lot about the Adobe suite, which is really sophisticated software. I'm really, really passionate about teaching kids industry standard skills, because I think basically anybody can use Canva. You can quote me on it.
I can use Canva.
Yeah, like, hey, what I say, anybody can use Canva.
I can dabble in Adobe.
You can,
I'm
you
a
sure
very
can.
old woman, and I can get in there, so they can do it.
Don't say that about yourself. We can have
No,
this
it's-
conversation later.
true.
Yeah, I'm really passionate about teaching your kids industry standard skills. I believe if you put a ceiling on the work that kids can do by giving them limiting tools like Canva, they're gonna hit the ceiling, right? And it's cool when they hit the ceiling, because ceilings are high, but if you take the ceiling off by giving them more sophisticated tools, by giving them more sophisticated skills, there's no limit on how high they can go. The work that our upperclassmen create after learning these industry standard skills will genuinely blow your mind. I'm biased, I will be the first one to tell you that, but the work they do is mind-blowing.
It is.
Companies like Delta, Coca-Cola, Chick-fil-A, Mercedes-Benz come to us and they say, oh my God, how do they do that? And we're
Was
like,
not expecting that.
yeah,
Google.
I know.
And we presented at Google, and they said, how can kids at this age present like this? This looks like one of our
Yeah,
presentations.
and it's because truly we don't just say age does not equal capability, we believe that and we live that every single day. So we don't limit your kids. Sometimes your students are gonna come home from school and they're gonna look at you and they're gonna go, this is really hard. They're gonna go, I don't know what they want me to do. This is really ambiguous. They might not use that word. I hope that they do, but they might not.
We love ambiguity. That's like our love language. We
And-
want them to have
Yeah.
a wide open solution space.
I want you to hear now from us, that is us not limiting them. That's us just asking them to grow. That's us challenging them to grow to the moon. It's us asking them to not limit themselves. That's how we get them to do that incredible work. So if it feels like they're being stretched, it's because they are. If it feels like they're being challenged, it's because they are. And that type of work really starts in the Connections courses creatively. A lot of times people come to Connections courses and they're like, this is gonna be a piece of cake. And then they meet me, you know, and I'm a nice lady, but I'm also like, we're gonna do a lot of work. So
Just high standards.
high stakes, high standards.
One of the things we believe in is really robust, useful feedback.
Yeah.
Talk about our love language. And
Feedback.
it's not always soft and pretty, but they come to love that and expect it. And so if they have an internal review on their project, we may say, ew, you've got to fix this, this, and this. This is, I didn't understand what you were talking about or whatever. We lay it out like it is. We're not going to say, good girls and boys, go forth. They don't even want that. They would be angry. They say, I can't do anything with that. And we kind of rip it apart to the bone, and then they go back and create something incredible.
But that's how they do amazing work. Yeah.
That makes me think of the Northside Hospital brief we did last year, which was wayfinding. If you've been to Northside, you know they've just added buildings through the years, and it's so hard to find your way. And so this is a challenging project, right? And they were trying to map out the hospital in 3D, and they were using foam core. And Dr. Wortham, our great maker teacher, came out and saw them do that, and she goes, oh, I'm going to add this to my course. Like, they need to know this is a skill. And now the juniors, the program with Coldwell Banker, they're like, we're going to build the city and we're going to make a 3D model.
They build really sophisticated
They're so
architectural
excited about
models.
it.
Yeah. Like we've been saying, we do amazing real world work. When we work with Delta, we go out on the tarmac. We go to Museum of Design Atlanta and we learn about how to do large scale builds. We believe in making things as real world as possible, contextualizing everything. School is the real world, right? We're all here, we're sitting in chairs, we're standing on the grounds, but as much as we can contextualize things outside of this building, we do.
Delta's such a great partner. They give us full access to everything. There were planes coming in and parking on either side of us, and I was like,
It was crazy.
okay, I'm pretty sure this is safe.
Those are days when I like look around and I'm like, this is my job, and that's so weird.
These guys were so excited to show them what they do, though, and show them how they switch from fuel to electricity. And the kids were riveted. They answered every question. They would have stayed out there all day.
It was
with them.
awesome, but it was really hot, so we did
It was so hot.
Yeah. Another amazing part of Innovation Diploma is transformational mentorship. We've got a really fabulous team. There are 6 of us, and we love your students. We love the ID students. Fanch and I have been here for several years. This is year 7 for her, year 6 for me. A couple of y'all, I've had some of your students. I had Maddox for 4 years and in
Older
my advisory.
siblings.
We have been here for a long time, and we really, really love our students. And that relationship we're able to build with them over the 4 years of high school, it's transformational, like for them, sure, but for us, it really, really is transformational. We learn from them every day. The 3 girls that were in here, we've been with them for years. Just that family feeling, that sports team feeling that we get in ID, it's awesome, y'all. It really is. It's good stuff.
We're together all 4 years. We're really close. We're always in 3 North. We're up there in the mornings. They stop by.
They know where to find us.
Yep. I always say Wilcox's denim jacket was designed to absorb the tears.
Yeah, it sure was. Kids will like come to me
She's
and
the
put their
one
head
I
on my
cry
shoulder
to.
and just cry, and I'm like,
Yeah.
like typing. I'm like, yeah. So design briefs, like we've talked about, we touched on a little bit, that's when our students do consulting work with external partners. This first 2 years are all about building those skills: collaboration, leadership, industry standard design, conflict management. Sometimes, spoiler alert, kids disagree with each other. Crazy. So they learn how to manage that in a healthy way. So do adults, not us though. So design briefs are just the crown jewel of Innovation Diploma, really. And we have worked with some amazing partners.
That's when we just turn the keys over to the program and we step aside. And they run every morning. They'll start with a stand-up meeting. If I had a design brief right now, I would have no qualms about being
I
down
have a
here.
design brief next period, and
Yeah.
I'm gonna be in here doing this.
Yes.
So,
Yeah. And
yeah.
they will run it beautifully. They'll say, all right, everybody, let's stand up meeting, talk about what you did yesterday, what you're doing today, where we're going, and they roll it with the process.
That's
And
right.
It's beautiful to watch. These kids are in college. My
They
favorite-
graduated college, these guys mostly.
Oh, don't tell me that.
Sorry.
You're right. Oh my
I
God.
know, it's super weird and horrible.
they will text us sometimes and say, look what we're doing. We got one of those yesterday from UGA. UGA, how might we statement on the word? Like, they're so, you're like, my professor just said I was the best presenter he's seen, and we're like, yeah.
Yeah, we did from UGA. They had a big how might we statement on the board, which your freshmen are going to learn about how might we statements in Mad Foundations today, actually. So that feels so full circle. It made me a little emotional, actually.
Yeah. We love it when they
Circle
reach
of
out
life.
and when they're in college and tell us how it works.
Yeah. So these are some of our Design Brief partners that we've worked with over the years. You'll see some names that jump out at you immediately, like Porsche, like Delta, which we've talked about a lot, CDC, Chick-fil-A, Museum of Design Atlanta. We've worked with some really amazing organizations. And then if you click again, we've got another page of amazing organizations. What I want you to notice here is that we work with a wide range of partners. We don't want to only work with big names. We want to also work with smaller companies. You'll see Arden's Garden. You'll see Boosterthon, which is a school fundraising organization. You'll see Covenant House. There's, yeah, it's not Ovenant House. What the heck? Boy Scouts of America is on there. We want to expose our students to as many industries as possible because, again, we're trying to help them figure out what they're passionate about. And so we want to say, like, hey, what do you like? They're able to go to college usually knowing at least somewhat what they're into, what they like to do.
And kind of what they don't want. Sometimes they think, you heard them, the girls talk about that.
Yeah.
Sometimes they think they want something. They work with one of these companies and they're like, that's not my vibe at all.
I had a student in one of my briefs, I guess last year, and she came in and she was like, perfect, a marketing brief. I've always known I've wanted to do marketing ever since I watched Gossip Girl. And then we did a marketing brief and she was like, never mind, hated it.
Not my thing.
She was like, oh, marketing's advertising, that sucked. And I was like, yeah. Yeah.
But really, like, for a high school kid to already have that knowledge and have done this diverse work. It's just,
like,
and
this
it's
is
fun.
not
I
what
learn
my high school
along
looked
with
like.
them. Like, you know, I didn't know a lot about the psychological foundation of the work we did with the CDC. And so when they're gaining expertise, I'm trying to gain it too. It's
Me
really
too.
fun.
They'll be like, Miss Wilcox, can you tell me about installing drywall? And I'm like, maybe soon, you know? So it's so fun to get to learn. And it really all ties to college readiness for y'all. I know that's something parents think about a lot, is college readiness. Like, how is this going to help my student? And it does. It helps your student a lot. They're able to go to college knowing who they are more than a lot of other high schoolers are. They're able to go to college knowing what they like, knowing how to present, knowing how to collaborate, knowing how to manage conflict. They're able to go to college being like, yes, I've worked with Mercedes. I did not go to college like that. I don't know about y'all, but Cherokee County Schools did not do that for me. Yeah.
DeKalb, not
Yeah.
me either. But it is, when I see them and I see those girls come in here and talk, I always think, wouldn't that be great to have been able to do that in 10th or 11th grade? What would I have given? But these students have a unique story to tell.
That's right.
They've done work that almost nobody else has gotten to do over the 4 years. And so oh, look at that.
I know,
Unique
right?
Story to tell. I say it here, it comes out there. But it's true. And we send them with an addendum to their transcript, which is the Innovation Diploma portfolio. And it showed, they pick out their 4 or 5 most important projects, or maybe it's a nonprofit where they led, or it's a government agency where they did something really unique with it.
Or they were on the leadership team for ID.
Yes, and they'll describe that experience in bullet points underneath. And it just gives that little extra, like, oh, wait, you worked with this company and did this thing?
I think the next slide is an example of it.
Exactly.
Yeah. So this is last year's head prefect, Harris Fentress, and this is just teeny tiny font, which I will always tell your kids to never do on a slide, so never tell them I showed you this. But this is really just to give you an example of how robust these are, right? Like, he was able to choose how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 examples of things he loved from his 4 years of ID and pack it onto this innovation portfolio. He put this on top of his college transcript and sent this out to colleges. And then he got a big fat scholarship to Georgia Tech. And there he is now starting college this year, which is so exciting and awesome for him.
So the kids, oh, sorry.
No, it's okay.
We did it
Both of these pages go with their college transcripts and college applications. So it gives innovation portfolio, which is the work that they do that they're proud of in ID, and then context for, like, what the heck innovation diploma is, right? So they don't just get this and they're like, okay, cool resume. They get this, what the program is, and how it fits into the school experience as well.
It's interesting to me, the students rank these and they make these. And so he put this immersive global solutions first, where he was lead. It was his first brief and it was tough. And that's why he put it first. Chick-fil-A was a huge success and a big brief.
He put
and
it last and
last.
least.
I thought that was so interesting for him, but that's what it meant to him to climb over those barriers that he had with that one.
Our kids have gotten into a whole bunch of colleges. Please take a look. Wow.
Yeah, they generally get into where they want to get in, and they kind of know the programs that they want to study.
And big names will jump out at you, like you see Yale, you see Brown, you see Columbia, but you'll also see some smaller liberal arts schools. This is because we have an incredible college counseling team at Mount Vernon. They're able to really help our students find exactly where they want to go, exactly what school fits for them. And again, IED students have a unique story to tell. They also know themselves really well. So that combined with our fabulous college counseling team, they go where they want to go.
The college counseling team is such a gift to our students.
Truly.
They really understand the college process when they get there.
And they understand Innovation Diploma. These are just a few of our favorite things, of our students' favorite things. These are just some IED highlights. So these are things that you might hear come up this year from your students. Got chalk talks, podcasting, QFT, stand and deliver, like we said earlier. Be nervous, do it anyway. Yeah.
They can run a focus group. You know, they can bring people together. They know the difference between a focus group and an interview. The chalk talks are one of my favorite things because they get a marker and a whiteboard, and they have to talk while they draw and tell what they know, and it's so much harder than it sounds.
Oh my gosh.
And I love it. When they get up there and they do that, half the time we film it because it's so hard
impressive.
to do.
Yeah.
And this is a picture of the senior dinner, which
From
is
last
a
year.
culminating freshman event. The freshmen plan this for the seniors.
They cook the food.
It is a rite of passage in ID. They do everything. It goes with their gastronomy class and their.
We'll have freshmen upstairs. We set up they set up 3 North like a kitchen. They're prepping food. So you'll see like 50 freshmen running around 3 North with hairnets and gloves. They're like, where's the lettuce?
It looks
awesome.
insane.
It's like the bear times 100. It's amazing.
When my first year was the first year they did this, and I remember 2 of our team brainstorming, and they're like, let's make a dinner, and this class will be back of house, this class, and I'm like, where am I? What is this? I don't know if I should stay here. This is wild.
Your first year teaching an ID, you're just like, wait,
your
what?
head is spinning. It's just so great, though.
It's awesome. It's so fun. Couple things that are new to Mount Vernon this year, new to ID this year. We've got Proof of Progress, and then Innovation Diploma Honors is new this year too. When a couple people were first coming in, they were like, you talked real fast in your video. How did you do that? And now you've listened to me talk a lot, and you're like, oh, okay, maybe that's just you. It is. I also drink a lot of caffeine. So Proof of Progress is new to the upper school this year. It's a totally new process. They are, I think right now, having like a, what is it called, webinar?
There's a call now, and there's another one at like 11 or noon or something.
So if you
like that to
have
help explain
questions about Proof of Progress, that's going to be your resource for that, is the webinar that they've got at another time that you have in your email and I don't have in my brain.
10 and 2.
Crowdsourcing.
Okay, perfect. I love
So
that.
they've
Just
got
like
webinars. They're also recording those. So if those times don't work for you, the recording is going to go out and you'll be able to watch Brad Droke talk about that. You can ask him questions as well. So for Proof of Progress, that's going to be your go-to. Brad Droke, those webinars, he's got you. We are really excited about Proof of
I was just
Progress.
about to say, we're super excited about not ID kids, I want to say, but some kids were gaming the system with honors or
Proof of Progress.
with reassessment. And they would just be like, I'm not going to study, I'm just going to reassess. And they would kind of play that game. This is a deeper learning, and it's we're really excited. I think a lot of the kids, when they first heard about it, they were excited.
Yeah,
Some
fits
were
with the ethos of
intimidated,
Innovation Diploma a lot.
Yeah.
It's going to let our students, like Fan said, deeper learning, really dig into the material instead of just being really stressed out about retaking tests all the time and being like, I've got to retake this 19 times. They're going to be able to sit with the content, actually learn it, actually develop a relationship to it,
and
show what they
kids
know.
are made for this. They will be even more as we. the year
ID
goes
kids are
on.
uniquely suited for it.
That's right.
I have told a couple of people with Proof of Progress, one of the reasons it's so fabulous is that it really will take a lot of stress off of our students as opposed to reassessment. It was creating such a culture of like fervor and just stress in the upper school. I've had students waiting for me outside the bathroom, being like, can I reassess? And I was like, yo, please.
Miss Smith, the science teacher, will
truly.
have kids lined up, and they're like, I must reassess. I told you that class is tough. So
Yeah,
they would be
like beads
I
of
must
sweat.
get an
You're
A+++++.
like, Gosh, you guys.
Yeah,
so it's
just
going to
take a breath.
be
It's gonna be
great.
better.
And as far as honors for Innovation Diploma goes, I sent out that Screencastify video for y'all talking through that doc for your students. And all of them in Math Foundations and Design for Good have a module about honors where you're able to view that honors project and read through that together. If your students have any questions, they can come ask us. All we're asking from them for before Labor Day is just to come talk to us about what they want to do. It's a passion project. They can work on all mod, and if they have any questions, they can come ask us. This morning, I held office hours from 7:30 to 8:15. A lot of them came and asked questions. I will say a lot of their questions were, what is it?
What do
so
I
they
do?
didn't read the doc or watch the video. And I was like, did you read the doc or watch the video? And they were like,
Maybe.
and I was like, hey, I made that for you. So encourage them to go back and watch that. And if they just read the transcript, I speak quickly and I have some words that I say a little funky. So transcripts don't do me justice all the time. So truly, like, watch the video, read the transcript, and have them come ask questions. It is not as scary as I think
That's right.
some of them are making it out
And
to
it's
be.
an ongoing conversation.
Right.
They kept saying, well, could I do something like this? Can you give us an example? And I said, pitch it to us, bring it to us, and
It's a
we'll help you
conversation.
tweak it.
Yeah.
And it's a conversation that keeps
Yeah,
going.
it's not meant to be a trick.
Right.
We're not going to be like, no, and also now you're
None of our
toast.
team
Like, that's
is
not
out
how
to
that
trick
goes.
students.
No.
It's not our vibe.
So if they have questions, they can come ask us. Something I tell students literally all the time, probably 726 times a day, is you're overthinking this.
Yeah, that's so true.
Because they're like, and well, what if this hyper-specific situation happens in which you kick me in the head? And I'm like,
Yeah.
yo, let's not.
So Ms. Wilcox reminded me of a really important point, especially for freshmen. We are super kids first, kids centric. If we have any kind of problem or there's something we need to discuss, we're gonna I'm usually gonna pull your kid into a quiet space and we're gonna talk about
Right.
it first. We're not even gonna bring you in on it until we need to.
Right.
So just be aware of that. Like, I've had people say, like, in December, how come I'm just learning about this now? And I'm like, we have been working
Yeah.
through this together, and we want your student to take ownership of anything that's going well or anything that's tough. And that's part of the growth
Yeah,
process.
it's really good for them, we promise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We promise.
This is a quote that is really at the center of Innovation Diploma. This is a guiding quote for us and something we think about a lot. And it's by Buckminster Fuller, who is just a transformational designer. It says, you can never change things by fighting the existing reality. To change something, build a new model that makes the existing obsolete. This is something we think about literally every time we design anything, which is very often. This is a program that's constantly changing, we're constantly reiterating, and we're constantly, I would say, getting better and better every year, every mod, every day. So thank y'all so much for coming. Thank you for your trust. Thank you for sharing your students with us.
Nailed it.
If we do say so ourselves, what questions do you have? We've got about 5 minutes for questions. If you want to click, there's even a slide that says questions, question
Oh
mark.
my goodness.
Boom, okay.
I should have known. I should have done it.
Yeah, what questions can we answer for you guys real quick?
Questions, comments, or whatever.
I would say, it's not a question, but I've had a son graduate with these lovely ladies, and what they're saying is what these kids will experience. And one thing y'all didn't say that I think that Maddox really experienced was the level of respect he had from day one on. So even as a freshman in that program, like, these teachers, the respect that they have for these kids and the process and all was super, super. Something I could go back and do high school again. I would do this.
Same,
Sure, like,
right?
insanely amazing.
That's what everyone, like, where was this when I was in school? That's what.
Yeah.
He's now a sophomore at college and thriving. So
Aw.
he is.
It happens fast, you guys.
It's
They go
crazy.
through so
Ryan
fast.
on the first day, I had them all write me letters on the first day, which all the letters were like, and I hate writing by hand. And I was like, Ryan was like, you might remember my brother Maddox. And I was
You
like, he was
might.
in my homeroom for 4 years and I love him so much.
Yeah.
Of course. Yeah. Thank you for saying that.
Yeah, no, I appreciate
It's
that
so
too.
so special to have the Chaspins back. Yeah.
Yeah, we sob at graduation.
Oh,
'cause we've been
y'all,
with them 4 years.
it's
Last year,
crazy.
I was a puddle. But it is like, and I always tell the freshmen, I go, we're going to get that way with you too. And I did, and they're like, you don't love us yet? And I'm like, I don't know you yet. I'm trying to
I
learn
know.
your names.
I tell the freshmen at the very end of the year, I'm always like, okay, now I love you. And they're like,
Yeah.
finally.
What? Took so long.
I know. They're like, Miss Wilcox. I'm like, okay, it's
But we honestly go through so much together.
We do.
And we have so many funny stories. This job, it's the best job I ever had.
Ever.
It is so
Ever.
fun.
Awesome.
Every day, like I'd like to say I spring out of bed every day. Some
I
days
don't.
not as much. But honestly, I'm so excited to come here every day. Every day holds something different. Your kids
awesome.
are funny. They say funny things. And
Yeah.
they, like yesterday, they were fighting over their cohort, and I just let them go. And they were like, but Dolly Parton did this. And
God,
then
I
someone's
wish
like,
it
but
was
she's
gonna
just
be
a
Dolly
country
Parton.
singer. And I was like, go, let's hear
Dolly
it,
Parton
go.
got eliminated, and I like
I know,
fell
she
to my
cried, she
knees,
wept.
and I was so sad.
Yeah.
Your kids are awesome. This is the best shop in the world. All
So
my friends
ask
who like
them
work in
tonight
tech,
or
I
maybe
like,
tomorrow, who the cohort name is. It's a big deal. The seniors keep asking.
Oh,
like, what's
actually,
your
will
name?
you click one more time just so they have our contact? This is
Oh,
our
perfect.
contact information. If you have a student who doesn't like to tell you about what they're doing at school, and if you have Instagram, I have a little teacher Instagram, and I am posting up on that all the time.
I need to do
okay?
that,
So
too.
if you want to follow along with all of the stuff that we do in Innovation Diploma, there is a lot happening there, and
I
then
put
our
a lot
email
on
addresses.
LinkedIn, and I will send you the link to the ID page on LinkedIn.
Yeah, and you should have also gotten an email with a newsletter from one of our fabulous parent ambassadors, and then I think that she also made a Facebook page. Is
Yeah,
that right?
she did.
Okay.
She made a parent Facebook
Yeah,
page.
so that's
if
Trisha.
you didn't
She's
get
very
that
great.
newsletter, reach out and we'll connect you. We'll make sure.
This is our contact info.
Yeah, that one we put together right before school started, so I was worried that I might not have all the emails,
And
but I definitely
Trisha's
have them
running
now.
that, and she's crushing. What other questions do y'all have, or any questions that y'all have, or yeah?
This may be a one-off, and it's funny because I was in a meeting on Monday, and now I know that I had to give an impromptu chalk talk, so I didn't know. They were like, Amy, why don't you share? And I had to stand
Oh,
up
that's
You're
and
like,
do a chart and
okay,
all
great.
that,
Yeah.
discussing, you know,
It's so hard, yeah.
I
It's
think
so
a
hard.
skill that will serve them well later in life. But as I'm sitting here, I'm thinking, gee, I want our kids to do a design brief for my organization.
Yeah.
Oh, I
reach
was
out.
gonna say that. If you work somewhere cool, if you've got a cool project, reach out to me.
Yeah, culture and
Partnerships are my thing.
partnerships.
Yeah, and I love it when we, like, people have this, like, I had this idea, I don't know if this is the Lego connection. She was like, I don't know if this is a good brief, but like, we're trying to engage this age group, and then we don't understand why it's seen as a boy toy, and we want more girl. I was like, yes, these are perfect projects for these kids to
Yeah,
dig into.
it's been a great brief so far.
Yeah, and the briefs are all so different that a lot of ideas work. That's great.
Yeah.
Are the briefs all real?
Yes.
Yes.
Every single one.
Yeah, we don't do any, I shouldn't even say this. There's a school down the street that someone from here went there and started a program that's similar. They do all case studies. At least they did the first few years.
Our upperclassmen, every single brief,
Everything is real.
every single thing is real. And our underclassmen do a lot of external work as well.
They set up the meetings, they send the calendar invites, they send the email for interviews. The emails are flying right now because they're trying to talk to experts. Talking to experts, it's the most fun. Your kids will start doing it this year, but they send out these emails and they're just like, oh, can you look at it? Does it look right? And I'm like, yep, let it fly. And then,
Or we're like, no, don't send that.
yeah, don't send it.
Oh my God, no. Yeah.
Then you'll see them running down the hall and, I got a reply.
It's
like,
awesome.
it's the most exciting thing.
They're like,
when-
I'm talking to MIT.
Yeah. It is so great when they get their first like expert who's like, oh, this sounds amazing. Call me. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
the wins
so
are
great.
awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
What else, y'all? Anything?
Yeah.
And-
On my email signature at the very bottom, I don't think we're supposed to do this, but it says
Yeah, don't tell
Innovation
anyone.
Diploma FAQ. I get a lot of questions about different things of the program, and so there's a little chat bot that you can ask it almost anything. I haven't updated with Pop and Honors, but I will probably this weekend. But you can ask it, like, who are the ID teachers? What is the feeling about grades? A lot of the stuff we talked about today, and it'll just tell you. And if you try to trick it, and if you find a wrong answer, let me know. And I think if you are ruminating later and you have questions,
Yeah.
just reach out.
Either one of us. Yeah.
Or both.
Or both. Yeah. If you want to get us both, we're kind
Thank
of
you
fun.
so much,
Yeah, thank
guys.
you guys.
Thanks for coming. Grab some coffee, too.
Yeah.
on
Oh,
the way
please
out.
get coffee.